Today marks 375th day share lessons I learned and continue to learn with you. My hope that these insights will inspire you, support your dreams, help achieve your goals, and really empower you to become the person that you want to become. Today I want to speak about a very beautiful topic, and this is how to get ahead in something. How to get ahead at something. I think that this is a very, very important topic because we need to get ahead in relationship, in business, and at work, in environment, in your health. In most important areas in our lives, we need to get ahead. And how to get ahead? I think that is again the topic that we will talk today, and we'll share 7 tips, 7 things that we could potentially do to get ahead. So, number one is define what ahead truly means. Turn vague goals in precision targets. The more specific you are, the easier it is to achieve it. The more vague you are, the harder it is to get it. And people say like, "Oh, I just want more money." How much more money do you want? If you have a extra door, will you be happy? No. So, what is specifically do you want? $20, $100, $1,000, $100,000, $1 million, and how fast do you want? Do you want in the future in 10 years, 20 years, 50 years? Because that the same $1 million in a year will mean different in 50 years. Of course, we want to be really very definitive about what do you want. So then we need to have outcome. That means that we need to really put some kind of output that we'll need. And of course, that we'll need to really put some input to achieve that goal. Because if you want a specific goal, get ahead, if you want to make $1 million in a year or make $1 million in 50 years, of course, the input will be different because of that. So getting ahead, first of all, always is analyzing what is that ahead means. Just get it writing. Get ahead of, and if I said that I just want to be a great writer, that is a very vague goal. What that means? But if you're actually able to like be able to write compelling, 1,000 word essay, and then explain exactly what you want to write about, I think that is exactly will allow you to really do the actions necessary to get there. And I think that specificity is always number one thing when you think about getting ahead. Number two is analyze the game, the decode the rules others might be even ignoring. I think that analyzing the game is always the key aspect. So that means that what do you need to analyze? If you said I want to get ahead in business, so it means that you need to analyze the business. If I want to really get ahead in writing, I need to analyze the writers, authors. So that means we look into like, and I think that we need to understand that there are sometimes explicit rules of the industry, and some things could be invisible rules. And it is like, what is rewarded in this? What is rewarded? And that means, of course, we're able to look into what is rewarded and work in that field. And I think that number one thing that we can really do to analyze game is that choose a couple of people, 3, 5 people who are great at their and who are already ahead, and really analyze them, study them, explore them. And I think that is sometimes people say like, I hate my competition, I don't like my competition, jealous of competition, envy of competition, even hate the competition. And I think that you're not able to learn from the things that you hate. But I think that's the beautiful thing when you really start looking into competition as something that you admire, or like they were working hard to achieve that. So right in the competition, they could be jealous, envy, and trying to beat them. I think that we're supposed to be able to say that I like their what parts of their achievement do I like, even though that there's a lot of things that you might not like, and it might be you don't like their um, character, you don't like the way how they did it. Maybe they did something in the wrong way. I said, what did they do right? And when you admire the things that they did right, you're able to really implement it. If you do not like anything and you hate competition, you will not be able to learn from competition. I think that's this beautiful thing that um, I'm reading a book now, Blue Ocean Strategy, and it's a pretty good book. I really like it how to really say that we watch competition too much sometimes. We are not able to look. There is outside of competition. There is things that we're able to get demand. But at the same time, I think that we're able to look into competition as well to understand what they do right, when they do wrong, and what potentially I could say that the competition, what they're doing right, I don't need it whatsoever. So that means to study the game. I think that's analyze the game, and when you analyze the game and you know the game and you know what's rewarded, you're able to really take what's needed and potentially add even more. Number three is leverage points. Work where few are looking, but results are big. And I think that's what it means is that what are the leverage? What are the small inputs that really brings a massive output? That means that in life, there's a lot of things that you potentially could do that brings massive results. But what is the probably the funny things is that the things that really brings the most results are the most uncomfortable. Not externally, but internally. And that's like one of the hardest parts is to do those things that has a massive output. But we need to put ourselves on the line. I was listening yesterday of one business owner who is who's now valuation of this company quite fast grew and it reached $1 billion already. And said that you need to learn how to put your balls on the line. And then so many people speak that they want to achieve bold results, but they are not bold with their actions. And I think that's exactly what we need to understand that the leverage points is sometimes taking risks and not being afraid to put your ego on the line. I think most time there's nothing you can lose. The only thing that you can lose is your ego, and most people are afraid of that, including myself. Like I was stopped by fear so many times, and that means I said I want to do so many great things, but I am held back by fear. I'm doing a lot of great things. I put so much effort, I put so much motion, but I don't ask the question, okay, what could be the most valuable thing for me right now with my actions? And that's why so many people who succeed in life, they do the most important things that really moves the most leverage. So they take one action and they give 10 back. Because if you really learn how to develop yourself as a business owner now and you hire people who are amazing in their technical skills, you win much more rather than learning yourself technical skills and really doing by yourself. And that's so many crazy successful people, not all of them, but some people are just amazing delegators because they understand that soft skills, human skills, sometimes are giving much more leverage than real learning skill by itself. And again, this is just skill leverage, network leverage, tool leverage. All those things are very important to learn because, of course, when you look into careers, person who uses just mind to really calculate in accounting, and other person who uses person who uses calculator tool will probably outperform a person who just tried to calculate in their mind. And exactly now it will be happening with AI. People who use AI will outperform people who do not use a tool. Number four is deliberate practice. Skip comfort and build mastery. So that's exactly what it is. That it means that we need to develop. If you want to get ahead, people who get ahead, they always looking ways. What is stretching them? I really love saying that. Okay, look, if you want to be the best speaker of all times, and you really want to speak in front of 100,000 people on one stage, that means you will not speak in front of 100,000 people immediately. There might be so like my point that I get scared after speaking in front of five people. Okay, let's speak in front of five people. Then you said, okay, like I feel comfortable speaking in front of five people, but I feel uncomfortable speaking in front of 15 people. Okay, let's make it 15 people. And you speak in front of 50 people, 15 people, then 50 people, then 100 people, and then you feel uncomfortable speaking of 1,000 people. Then you speak in front of 1,000 people, if you get comfortable speaking with 1,000 people. And then you reach that top goal little by little incrementally. And I think that deliberate practice is all about really not just doing the same thing over and over again, but asking hey, how it could really a little bit improve. So deliberate practice is not just doing the same thing over and over again, showing up doing bad days. That is very, very important. But at the same time, asking how it could stretch myself, how it could improve myself that I do not need to really stay in the same level. And that's I think that is what is deliberate practice because you can practice all the time the same thing over and over again. Maybe it will grow a little, but when you deliberately stretching yourself, I think that's where the beautiful part is. Number five is track the progress. Measure the invisible. I think that tracking the progress, I think one of the most beautiful things to really allow us to achieve great success, because when you track the progress and you see that you moved and you are celebrating that move, that shift, that improvement, you get energy. And that energy is allowing you to push at yourself a little bit more. And I think that deliberate practice and track progress is sometimes always is working hand in hand, because when you track the process, when you measure the progress and you celebrate yourself, now you get energy out of celebrating yourself, and you're able to really deliberately practice again and then track the progress again and improve. I think that's a very beautiful thing when we really have a weekly checkup, a monthly checkup, a yearly checkup, and see like where are we? And I think that's again we need to be what is not measured doesn't get improved. What is not measured doesn't get improved. So that means that having those days when you really look back and really write down and journal where you were at. And of course some soft skills are harder to measure, but still be able to really say like how do I measure my progress? Where I need to really look at to see that if I'm getting better or not. For example, for me, even speaking in front of a camera at the beginning of my YouTube channel, for me to speak 3 minutes was insanely hard. It took me forever to really learn to speak more than 3 minutes. Now 3 minutes is just the beginning, just as warm up. I think every single person could look into what are the things that I could look at to really see the difference that I have made over those years. Number six is strategic visibility. Silent wins stay silent. And what it means that it's a very powerful thing that I don't remember where I learned it, but it's very powerful things that if your car broke down and you're sitting in the car, 99% of people will go by, maybe 99.99 will go by and you'll never know that you need some help. But if your car broke down, you stop the car, you push alarm um, lights, and you open the hood, and people start to see that something is going wrong with your car, mechanic or other person might stop. So you increase your chances of someone jumping in and supporting you drastically, tenfold, hundredfolds, thousandfolds. So it means that when we able to say like, I will share what I'm working on, I will share what I'm struggling with, and at some point, people want to help because I truly believe that people are altruistic. People are here on earth to serve people. When they see that person is trying, working hard, developing, and there is something is missing in their life, there is some kind of support they need. I think that there will be someone who will show up, someone who will share ideas, someone who will give some guidance to really to overcome and get ahead. So if we want to get ahead, we need to really not keep ourselves silent and struggle silently, but really share and be vulnerable. Say like, I'm struggling right now. I'm working, but if something is not working, I don't know what's not going on, but if something is not working, I do so much effort because I think one big thing is sitting in a bed and saying like my life is not going well. But now it's different when you're really trying and doing and exploring and moving and you are in emotion. You just don't have the clarity yet. And sometimes being able to share all those things, I think that's could be one of the things that really allows people to get ahead. The last one I want to mention is that iterate or pivot. Keep your head above the work. And then this is a beautiful thing. Keep your head above the work. So there is the things that we need to work on. But the most important part is that sometimes ourselves will sink in that work and our heads are so clouded by the work that we need to do. So that means we always need to really reevaluate our goals, reevaluate our values, reevaluate our beliefs, and really keep that inner world full of energy. So we able to really look from outside in ourselves, in our work, and what needs to be done, and pivot and adjust the things that needs to be done. Because sometimes we just when you really want to get ahead, and I really love an analogy with mountain. There is when we want to get to the top of the mountain, that means that there's 360-degree view of that mountain. And if you want to get ahead to the mountain compared to other people, maybe in a business and environment and even in a work, that means you need to choose a path. And sometimes might that we chose the wrong path and we need to pivot. We need to really find the path that really allows us to get and really understand that our head needs to be always in the game. But we do not quit when the first path is not the right path. I think that this is again when we experience difficulties. I guess one of the most important parts we need to always remember is that we quit on the path, but not on the vision. The saddest part is that people really have the big vision and they get stuck and they said that maybe that vision is not for me. The path is not for you. The vision is for you. I think that is a beautiful thing. So that means if said that I want to be wealthy, I want to make $1 million a year, and then they choose a business and that business was wrong and they fail at business. So that means that that goal of being wealthy is still the same, but just the business was not potentially for you. Like there are so many things that to consider, but just saying that the path might be adjusted. Let's just keep the vision. So I hope that you reflect because I think that this is a topic so important for everything in life because we want to get ahead in health, as I said, you want to get ahead in relations. In every area of our lives, we need to get ahead. And every area of our lives basically requires exactly the same things. If we want to get ahead in relations, that means we need to study relations and really find the people who are really good at it and really learn from them. You want to get ahead in wealth, exactly the same thing. I think that is very, very important to develop those rules.